Hello and welcome to Homer for November 9th, 2024. We have a great passage today about ending the day, actually. So, anyway, hos e pontos skepton aneskete pasi teoisin, apso rondi daios ebe proti Ilion hirein, hoi deat ein agure troes kai Dardaniones, pantes omegeres poti degmenai ho poitarelthoi. Idaeus horael thecai angelien ape stasin messoi sintoi hoplis donto maloca. Poteron nacuas agemen heteroi demethulen. Argeioi detero theneu selmon aponeion o tru non to nacus tagemen heteroi demethulen. All right. So thus having spoke, he raised his scepter to all the gods. So remember, this is Agamemnon telling Idaeus what their decision is. And then returning, Idaeus went back to the holy city of Ilion. And then when he arrived there, in a single congregation, all the Trojans and the Dardanians were gathered, right? They were gathered here. And they were waiting, prostekomai, I believe this is, yes, until he should arrive, until Idaeus should arrive. And then when he did arrive, Idaeus stood in the midst of them, just as he stood in the midst of the other crowd, the Achaeans, and he spoke his message, Angelien. And then, these, all of them, they marshaled quickly, and having heard his message, and some of them either went to go gather up bodies, or the others went to gather wood. And the Argives, on the other hand, over by the water, for their own sake, or on the other side, right? They, from their well-benched ships, implying that they were on the ships, interestingly enough, they then went out. They got to work to also leading their dead bodies and also gathering their wood. Okay, cool. Nice little short passage. Once again, shows the very, very consistent parallels here in Book 7. What's interesting here is that there is no messenger speech, right? So we had messenger speeches before, right? We had calls and responses. We even had some really blatant repetition of what was said, right? From transferring Alexander's word to the Argives, right, on behalf of Idaeus. But when Idaeus gets back to, the Trojans, it's not double reported what Agamemnon says, right? And we can only assume maybe that's because the words that Alexander said were so much more formative to the plot. Remember we were talking about how crucial to the sort of, the tragic nature of the Trojans is, that line that they have, we are not, we're not gonna, we give everything but Helen, you know what I mean? We give all our property except for Helen. Just don't take the city. And then Agamemnon's like, no, you guys are screwed. It's totally bound around you. These cords are tightening. So they just sort of get back, and then the Trojans gather their wood and they're dead, and then so do the Argives, and just some. That's nice. Also, I like this. Jose pontos skeptron aneskete pasin teoisin. To all the gods, he raises his scepter. We have to wonder what that looked like. Did he wave it around? Did he raise it over his head like some guy in Star Wars? Like the what are the names? Whatever, the Sand People. You know what I mean? Or what the story was there. But a fun image to play around with in your mind. And then finally, I like this verb right here, poti degmenoi. Right? It's a nice. Poti versus pros. That's in the Greek. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.